massive step up in class as far as your opponents go this week from Carlton to a team, a top potential sort of top 4 premiership contender?
Look, obviously Port Adelaide are a brilliant team, and it's a massive challenge for us. I guess we've built a bit of confidence out of last week, which is good. It's good to get out of the crisis, which is nice. Plagued the club for 1 week, so we're out of that now, and obviously looking forward and got a bit of confidence within the group. So we can attack it really. I mean, with a really good bit of confidence.
Have you noticed much difference around the seriousness, the mood, or the feeling around this week?
No, the mood's always been good internally. I think just the monkey's off the back a little bit. If you talk about just the feeling that, it's like a batsman. If you keep making ducks, you're just waiting for that first run to get away, and that's pretty much all. That's it. We can all play. We can all play the game well. It's just the nervousness sometimes doesn't bring out the best of you, and that's probably what's been happening. And we can sort of put that behind us now and play with a bit of freedom.
They've just been announced that Kane Cornes is going to retire after his 300th. Do you expect a sort of an emotional lift from them the next sort of coming weeks, starting with Sunday, I suppose?
I think most footballers play the game, for themselves first and foremost, and their own pride. And then, of course, those little things matter as well. 300s, milestones, games like that, big finals, they always add a little bit of extra weight. But I would have thought they'll be business as usual. Port Adelaide, they're a good team that play pretty steady emotion anyway. I don't think that those sorts of things get them up. They play up most of the time. So,
are you surprised by that cause he's retiring?
You never know what goes on internally, what players are thinking, and never surprises me in this game, anything. Because, look, at the end of the day, it's not a surprise someone who's played 300 games at his age is looking to retire. That's very common. Mid-season's probably a bit less common, but it happens. Just only wish it was in a few weeks after we play him, so he wasn't playing out there, to be honest, because he's a good player. Yeah.
What have you made of Port's form? They were talked up as premiership. They're 3-3. They're coming off a game they probably expected to win.
Yeah, well, the reason they're 3-3 is they've had a tough fixture. The same with Geelong and same with Hawthorn. They've all had a pretty tough start to the season. It's one thing the AFL I think have done really well is pit the teams together at the start of the year to make the ladder not stretch apart, and I think they've achieved that really well for the AFL by putting all the better teams playing each other at the start of the year. So there's no surprise that Port and Hawthorn and teams like that haven't won the amount of games last year because they're playing against each other. That's just the facts of it, and only one team can win. So, I'm sure as the year goes on they'll open up a little bit and get their wins. They're still a very good team, still one of the premiership favourites. So it's a good test for us.
Harris Andrews, he showed something in defence last week, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was tremendous. A lot of contested marks.
Look, we've always wanted to play Harris in defence. It's just that our lack of tools and forward has forced him to sort of come into the game as a forward. But I think we see him as a long-term defender at the football club. He's sort of got that extra height and ability to mark the ball from the opposition, and that's since Joel Patfield left, we haven't had that player that's sort of consistent in that area, and we think Harris can do that.
What did you think of Matthew Longbury's performance last week? He's been in and out. You've had to use him forward, I guess, almost by necessity.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. As I said to Berger after the game, he only had 4 possessions, but his ability to play his role, draw the ball, allow Josh Green to, do his work and straighten us up offensively to give us a target. And that's, he was in dozens of contests, didn't mark all the balls. Some he was just a millimetre away, but that'll come over the weeks. But his ability to play his role was terrific.
So you've obviously thrown him a bit of a challenge in the first 4 to 6 weeks. How have you found his response during that?
Yeah, very good. He's trained really hard, really diligent, come back in and played well. So that's what we want from all our players.
Ben Hudson spoke earlier in the week about Loeb and Ryder.
Yep.
Probably the 2 important players to stop the Port. Is this Steph and Will's biggest challenge?
Probably. They're 2 very good ruckmen. Obviously, Paddy's and Lobby, he's 2 of the best in the competition, so work's cut out. There's nothing better than you're going up against the best, and particularly a ruck duel, because it's very much one-on-one, isn't it? Most other parts of the ground you swap opponents and things like that, but you can't get away from it as a ruck. You got to take the challenge on and meet it, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Will you spend more time on the ruck to help chop stuff out?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, he'll play a bit more time in the ruck, but we think Steph does a really good job around the ground, so it's always been the challenge when you've got 2 quality ruckman. One's got to play more forward minutes. That's just the way it goes.
You've touched on Harris. Obviously, has been a shining light, but with so many injuries, what else have you learned about your team in the first few weeks?
Look, I've still learnt we've still got some inconsistencies within our game, but I also know our best footy's pretty good. I think what's happened also is we saw a little bit more of our new players playing their natural game. I thought Dane Beams got forward of the footy a bit more last week than he has. Before that, he's probably been, has to be around the inside a bit more without Rocky and Pearce there, but he broke away a few times. So I'm seeing little signs within each individual game that's getting better. So that's the positive.
I guess a couple of things.
Oh, which one? Sorry.
We can actually really in trouble.
I think. I think our best footy, we're competitive, we keep the opposition scores low, and if we can do those two things, you give yourself a chance, whether you win every week or not. Have we got the firepower to blow teams away at this point in time? Probably a big question mark, given the youth of our bookends of our ground. But that doesn't stop you from being competitive and stopping the opposition, and we do have that ability every week.
I guess a couple of things. I know Port were in a pretty similar situation to you guys. Do you look at them as, I guess, something to not necessarily aspire to, but a bit of a template, I guess, for that quick improvement?
Oh yeah, I guess Port had rapid improvement, didn't they? I mean, coming off Matty Proms here, they had some injuries as well and some bit of bad luck that particular phase as well, and it all come together at the right time under Ken, didn't it? So, look, every club's in a different phase of their development and what they're doing. Of course, everyone wants to emulate Port Adelaide, because it's rare that a team goes from such a low position to a high like they did a few years ago. But yeah, that improvement can be rapid. There's no doubt.